Hey, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today I'm doing a shaky cam interior review inside a 2019 RAV4 Adventure. 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 They really should have used hashtag adventure and hashtag adventure. Adventure. Should have used that. Way cooler. Anyway, just gonna do a quick one because I have looked at this before. I don't remember if I did a interior video, but I believe I did one last year. This, however, is all new. Toyota redesigned this vehicle, and it did need it, and it looks really good now. So let's just get started because it's really cool now. I really like the interior on this now. So up here you have your door handle. Over here, here's the mirrors. Here's the door locks, window lock, and this is the side windows. I will point out the Adventure model is I should have said this right at the beginning. The Adventure model is a package for this. It's a trim package, but it includes a lot of things that are on the exterior of the car too. So some of the stuff you're seeing in here is part of it, and then when I do the exterior review, I'll point out some of the other things like suspension changes. So right here, you can see they got rid of that little, used to have a little door right here. It's still in some Toyota models that was kind of useless, just open this little cubby that did nothing. They replaced that with this, which is rubber lined, and you can see the first of the orange trim for this particular one. And that's a great spot to like throw your phone. If you have a small one, it'll stick out a little bit, but you can throw your phone in there. You can throw in, you know, keys, extra stuff, whatever. Great spot. Now it's a useful empty spot. So over here, dimmers. Right here is your automatic for the headlamps. Here is the I always forget what this is called. I'm always forgetting what it's called, but oh, it'll come to me and I'll write it down here after I'm done. Steering wheel heat there, and rear hatch release right there. Down there you can't really see them because they blend in, but here you have your fuel port release, and here you have your hood release right there. When I do the exterior review on this, I'll show you something on that hood that's interesting, where the hood catch is. Over here is the controls for the driver information screen. So this controls that. You can see it's pretty straightforward. You go back and forth, you hit OK, you go back right there. This is telematics. It's your telephone. I love telematics. One of my favorite words to use. Over here is the volume control for the stereo and or phone if you're on the phone. This is the voice control button. Get used to using that because, like most Toyota vehicles, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay are likely not going to be present. They are an option, I believe. I think Toyota is they're in the middle of doing stuff with that. But Android Auto for sure is not available. I believe Apple CarPlay is available. I don't know if it's available on this particular package because I don't have iOS products. Over here is the cruise control. So this is a adaptive cruise, so it works the normal way. You turn it on right here, set, reset, and so forth, cancel right there. This is lane keeping assist. This is your distance. So it sets that distance. Now, if you have it set to any particular distance and you hit this, it goes to the default, which is slightly more, so slightly further apart than the maximum. So it's at 3 points out of 5. That's the way to say it. And then from there, it'll adjust down or up. Right here is the mode for this is actually choosing radio inputs, and then this jumps tracks and or stations. So there you go. Over here are washer wipers, etc. So you can see when it's on auto, which is first tick down, you can set how aggressive that is, and then you turn this to do the back. Push this forward to squirt the back window, pull it this way towards you to squirt the front. And over here you have headlamps. So you got signal turns up and down, and then you have your headlamps. Right now they're on daytime running. Right there is automatic headlamps. Your brights are going back or coming this way, and then this is fog lamps. So you turn them on like that, turn them off, and that's it. That's all you got to know. Now for the bezel. Looking at the bezel, there's more than one bezel in there, dude. Yeah. Anyway, looking at the instrument cluster. That's what I should be saying. You know, so I sound like I know what I'm talking about. Instrument cluster. So over here, focus please. Over here is your tachometer. And then you can see some warning lights. This is your digital speed readout. As far as I know, it doesn't ever go away. That's awesome, because I like those. Everybody should already know that by now. Over here's a clock telling you how late you are. Over here is the fuel. I put a pretty decent number of miles on this. I put 140, I believe, so you can see the fuel consumption. I did not do formal fuel tests in this because I didn't feel it was really warranted, but this, I will say just offhand, looking at what the computer reads out, this gets pretty close to what the EPA would tell you you're supposed to get out of this. So that's a good thing. I'm going to turn off some. All right, and then over here is the engine heat. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Not a lot to show you on those. Now going through the menus, you can see here's total average fuel economy, 25.6. Distance to empty. This is all going to be fuel economy stuff. And then if I switch over, now you can see you can turn, this is the menu for driver assistance stuff. So you can see parking radar and a bunch of that, blind spot management and so on. Here's the trip distance. This is the real time. So in other words, this is since I started the car. So for the 7 minutes that we've been talking right here, I have moved 0.0 miles because all I did was pull it up about 3 feet so it would be better in the shade for this video. Because, you know, all-wheel drive, this is interesting when you're off-road, but most of the time you're probably not going to care about it. Then audio, there's a map, and so on. So there you go. You can see at the bottom across there, those are the main menu logos. I don't know what the word is for that. I'm not really doing well with verbiage today. Verbiage. I like that word. Verbiage. I got a lot of words I like. It's because I have kids. All right. This is the new infotainment. So it's mostly like the old Toyota infotainment. You'll see a lot of similarity. But it is newer. It's more responsive. Nicer screen. I will point that out. This has the JBL upgrade. Nicer screen and all of that. But it's still pretty basic. It doesn't do a whole ton of stuff. I don't think there's any apps because I don't have a phone plugged in, so you won't see them, but you can see what the icons would be. So you got like iHeartRadio and whatnots. Home button takes you to where we were before. You can jump just to audio, and then you can change. You can choose your source right here, so you can decide what you want to, where you want to get that from. You can jump to the maps and so forth. There's a lot of, these are all pretty obvious. I don't have my phone connected right now, so it's not going to show that. I disconnect Bluetooth when I'm doing this, when I'm doing these videos. But there you go. That's the general idea there. Down below it, you got some Dukes lights, and then here's the first of your vents to turn on and off. Then we get to climate controls. Currently, they're mostly turned off, but you can hit auto here. It's dual zone, so you can set and set, or you can sync them. Then these are all pretty straightforward. The eco button just basically takes weight off of the motor, off the engine, by not doing as aggressive pumping with the. So in other words, it basically makes the air conditioning compressor work less, which means it's taking less energy away from the engine. Here you have your traction control. Here you have bun warmers and coolers. They're green when they're on cool, red when they're on warm. So that's really all I got to know. And over here, same difference. Down there, so you have a wireless charging pad here, 12-volt plug there, USB and aux plug right in there. And you're seeing some more of that orange. Over here, here's the parking brake, which currently is set to automatic. So as soon as I am in park, that brake engages when I let go of the foot pedal. That's pretty cool. You can also manually run it, push it down to release, pull it up to set. It releases automatically when you shift into a gear as well. This is a hill hold button. Not really useful where I'm at, but probably useful in, you know, some markets like, I don't know, San Francisco. Over here is your drive mode. So you got eco, normal, and sport. Not too much difference between these. Normal mode and eco mode are roughly the same. You probably won't really notice a lot of difference when you're driving. Sport mode you will, not just because the instrument cluster turns all red and sporty, but also just because a little more throttle response and it's more aggressive about running RPM higher. You will definitely hear those RPM because the engine in this is loud, very loud. Really loud. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that right now. Down here, this is the your off-road controls or your drive. Well, let's see. I don't want to call it four-wheel drive controls. It's not really four-wheel drive. All-wheel drive controls will work, I guess. So you push it for just normal mode. You just push that, and it just operates as it normally would and figures out what it needs to do accordingly. Then you have several different ones, so I'll just cycle through them and you'll see that I'm turning this dial, but I'll show you what it's changing because it'll show you up here. So now we're in, let's go to mud and sand, then you're in rock and dirt, and then you're in normal mode, so it doesn't show anything. You also have a snow mode down here and hill descent control right there. Shifters right here, trigger on the front. It's a big trigger, so you can't really miss it. And then you can see you can go to manual shifting over here if you really want. Then you see more of that beautiful, awesome orange trim and these big drink holders, good size. Center armrest is nice. Also, this pushes in, by the way, push in. This big console is great, and then you can see there's two USB charging plugs in there. I really like this because it's a good size for the size of the vehicle. The seating is faux leather, vented and heated, obviously. Then you can see just the stitching and you see it throughout. So you see that big tray, that's really useful. You can throw all kinds of things in there. And you just look at the dash. I really like the new dashboard design. It's similar to what they had before in RAV4s, but more classy, I guess, or more, I don't know. It's just, it feels different. And some of that is the stitching and the trim, but it's also just, you know, the makeup, it's more tiered. So it just looks good. They did a really good job with that. I actually really like the interior in here. The back seats are good. 3 kids across, no issues. I'll show you the cargo area right now. Cargo. This is the cargo area. Yeah. Just nicely done. And this particular package with the Adventure, so Adventure. The RAV4 with its Adventure package is just really makes this a great vehicle. You know, the RAV4 is a good vehicle. It sells well for a reason, but the Adventure package really just kind of adds that little extra, you know, slightly knobbier tires, a little more ground clearance, all that stuff. It's just it doesn't change the drive quality too much. It makes it a little noisier on the road, I would say, because of the tires. But otherwise, it's already noisy on the road, so you're talking about degrees of noisiness. But really, really nicely done. And then this has the JBL package update and a few other things in it. But nicely, nicely done. I like this car. So there you go. That's the interior review for the 2019 Toyota RAV4 Adventure. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.